Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sam Smith. And in this video, we are going to be breaking down my predictions for the 2021 NHL regular season. Alright, I'm a pretty big hockey fan, if you don't know that already. I've been posting about it on Instagram. Can't wait for you guys to hear my hot takes and my predictions on what the season could look like. So, let me give you a quick rundown of what the season's going to look like. So it starts on January 13th. It'll be a 56-game season, and the teams will only be playing within their division due to travel restrictions. And all of the Canada teams have their own division because they cannot come to the U.S. So that's how that's going to work. So, the divisions are, and by the way, some divisions are mixed with some Eastern Conference teams and some Western Conference teams. Like, for example, the North Division, which is the Canadian division, has all of the Canadian teams. We have the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, the Ottawa Senators, Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, Winnipeg Jets, Vancouver Canucks. Alright. So that's the North Division. I'm going to call it the Canadian Division, because it's literally just a Canadian division. In the Central Division, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Dallas Stars, the Florida Panthers, the Carolina Hurricanes, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Nashville Predators, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Detroit Red Wings. In the West Division, we have the Arizona Coyotes, the Colorado Avalanche, the Minnesota Wild, the Anaheim Ducks, the San Jose Sharks, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Vegas Golden Knights, along with the St. Louis Blues. And in the Eastern Division, we have the Boston Bruins, the Buffalo Sabres, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Islanders, the New York Rangers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Washington Capitals. So those are the new divisions for this year. And of course, next year, hopefully we're back to normal by then, by October. And when October hits, the Kraken will be unleashed. The Seattle Kraken, the newest NHL team, is coming in the fall of 2021. I actually can't wait to see what that's going to look like, because will they have another Vegas Golden Knights dream run in their first season, or will they just be kind of crap the first season, which is usually what happens. Those are the divisions. The season will be 56 games, so they're only playing within their division. The playoffs will begin May 11th, with running into mid-July with 16-team format with best-of-7 series, hopefully playing in their home arenas by then. So here is my predictions as to what the regular season, or what the playoff matchups could look like. Alright, so the NHL is saying that they're going to only pick the top 4 teams from each division to make the playoffs. And as you heard in the intro, some teams are mixed in with other teams in some conferences. Like, for example, the Central Division, Tampa, which is an Eastern Conference team, and Dallas, which is a Western Conference team, along with Chicago and Nashville, are all in the Western Division, while the Central also consists of Tampa, Carolina, Florida, and Columbus and Detroit, along with Florida, I think I already said Florida, who are all in the Eastern Conference. So, conferences will not matter this year. It's only going to be division-based. Oh boy, it's about to get real hot in here. Alright, here we go. Let's start with the West Division. Let's start with number 8. The worst record in the West Division will belong to the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim... Oh, by the way, this is all based on what I've seen last year and the current rosters, and also just based off what what I think will happen. The Anaheim Ducks, they didn't make a lot of upgrades over the offseason, so they don't really have the pieces they don't have the pieces to the puzzle to make a playoff run like they did a couple years ago. They traded away everybody, and they let everybody walk, and now you're stuck with a young team with a couple of veterans who are reaching towards the end of this career. Bruins fans, does this sound familiar? And you don't really have the right pieces. So the Ducks, they're going to be last in the West Division. Then you have the San Jose Sharks. They don't have their captain Joe Thornton anymore. We'll go into that in a minute. We have the LA Kings at number 6. The Kings, they didn't make enough movement on the roster to really, same with the Sharks really, they didn't make a lot of moves over the offseason to really push themselves to get better. The LA Kings did not have a great year last year, along with the Sharks and the Ducks. There was no California team in the playoffs at all last year, so that's not going to change. The last team that will miss the playoffs in the West Division will be the Minnesota Wild. Now, you might be asking why. Well, I'll tell you why right now. Minnesota, they made a huge off-season push. They signed Marcus Johansson, who was playing with Buffalo last year, was only a one-year rental. It was not going to last a couple years. He originally came from the 2018-2019 Bruins team, went to Buffalo, got a year there, and now he's playing with the Minnesota Wild. So, do I think that Minnesota could make the playoffs? Absolutely. They made some great upgrades over the offseason, and I would not be surprised if the Wild make the playoffs, to be honest. So, but I don't think Minnesota will make it. I think they'll be just a couple points short. Number 4. So the first team making the playoffs will be the Arizona Coyotes. I was super impressed with Arizona last year. Arizona actually made a pretty deep playoff run. Alright, so Arizona, number 4. I think the Arizona Coyotes, they could have a better chance at having a deeper playoff run this year because, quite honestly, I think Arizona does have the potential to be a Stanley Cup contender. They have the pieces to the puzzle. They did not trade away Oliver Ekman-Larsson, which was a surprise. I thought, honestly, he was coming to the Bruins or the Canucks. That was a complete surprise. They didn't really change their team for the most part. Not a lot of pieces stayed. Phil Kessel's still there. I think Arizona could make a deep playoff run. And the third place in the Western Division will be the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche, one of the more impressive teams in the entire league last year, making it deep into the playoffs, making it to I believe, the conference finals. So without a shadow of a doubt, Colorado will be back in the playoffs. I don't know if they'll make as a deep playoff run as they did last year, but Colorado will definitely be back in the playoffs. The second seed is the 2019 Stanley Cup champion, St. Louis Blues. Now, if you know that I'm a Bruins fan, and you know I don't like the Blues, but they made a hell of a signing over the offseason. They signed Torrey Krug. Torrey Krug is one of the top defensemen in this league. Boston wasn't going to offer him the money he was wanting, so they let him walk. On the Bruins GM's Don Sweeney's end. Foolish, absolutely foolish. But Torrey Krug, he went off and signed with St. Louis. He signed with the devil themselves, the St. Louis Blues. The Bruins' most hated rival right now. So St. Louis, they only got better, which is scary. A scary thought that the Blues only got better. So St. Louis, you're probably going to make the playoffs. Second place. And the winner of the Western Division, the number 1 seed, will be the Las Vegas Golden Knights. 2 words. Alex Pietrangelo. This guy is literally... he was the biggest off-season signing of the entire off-season. Vegas hit the jackpot. They paid him a lot of money, but you get a top defenseman who can honestly play on both sides of the puck. Alex Pietrangelo, yep, you're going to lead that Vegas team to that Stanley Cup championship, at least to a very deep playoff run. I would not be surprised if Vegas actually makes the finals. Alright, so West, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 being Vegas, 2 St. Louis, 3 Colorado, 4 Arizona. Now we go to the Central Division. Central, we have at number 8, the Detroit Red Wings. What happened? Detroit, you've had countless opportunities to rebuild your organization, and you still say that you are in a rebuild. Well, damn it, you've been in a rebuild for how long now? 10 years? From what it seems like, you've been in a rebuild ever since you guys didn't make the playoffs, like 5 years ago. So, when is this rebuild going to end? When are you going to finally spend to the cap for once and finally collect a team that can take you to the promised land? When's that going to happen? Not this year. That's for sure. Number 7, Chicago. Chicago had such a bad of an off season that they literally had to pen a note to Blackhawks fans literally saying to their fans, "We are sorry that we're not doing anything at the off season." Well, guess whose fault that is? It's not the fans' fault. It's not the players' fault. It's the organization's fault. It's the front office. They need to really rethink, right? If Chicago is going to become the team of the decade like they were last decade, they need to pick up the pieces. They had a great pickup in what was his name? That defenseman there from Colorado. I forget the guy's name. I'll put it on screen. I'll figure it out. But that was the only thing they did. You even got to the point where Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, just to name a few, were pretty pissed off at the Blackhawks organization, and they were justified. They were like, "We want to play here. We need other pieces. We cannot carry this team to another ring." So Chicago, that's my rant on Chicago. Nashville, number 6. They lost a pretty big piece in Craig Smith to the Bruins over the offseason. Craig Smith, who was the glue to that Nashville team. The Predators, they were a Stanley Cup contender a couple years ago. They even made it last year. They didn't get better. In fact, they might have gotten worse. They lost Kyle Turris, Craig Smith again. They lost a couple of key pieces. Nashville, sorry guys, you guys aren't going to make it. Sorry. Number 5, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus, who won by the skin of their teeth over Toronto last year. There's something about Columbus, man. Columbus in deep playoff run don't mix up. Don't mix well. Columbus, the deepest playoff run they ever had was the 2019 run, which was the one when they swept Tampa and got beat by Boston in 6 in the second round. Columbus, you didn't get better. In fact, you got worse. So, the first big red flag was last year when you guys let Sergei Bobrovsky walk. That was a huge mistake on your end. And now, it's biting you in the backside. So, Columbus, you're 5th. First team for the Central Division to make the playoffs, the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers is one of the more scary and sleeper teams in this entire in the entire NHL. Let's see, they picked up a huge signing in Anthony Duclair. Anthony Duclair is honestly one of the best left wingers in this league. They signed him over free agency. That was a great signing for them. It's a great fit. Then you have Vinny Hinostroza, a nice little right winger who played with Arizona last year, he's come into his own as the years have gone on for him. And Vinny Hinostroza, he could be a nice little second line right wing for that Panthers team. They also have a Patrick Hornquist, a veteran who's nearing towards the end of his career, can really bring that leadership role into that Florida team, which is exactly what they need because they are a young team for the most part, a very young team. So Florida, for the most part, you guys look pretty good to me. I would say Florida could make a deep playoff run with Sergei Bobrovsky in net. So, Florida, you guys are going to the playoffs in my book. Number 3, the Carolina Hurricanes, who come off a first-round loss to the Bruins last year, who had a deep run 2 years ago and of course got stopped by Boston in the conference final. But for the most part, Carolina hasn't really changed. They only really got better and they got more depth, which is huge for that team. So if I'm Carolina and mostly everybody stayed, I'm in a pretty good spot. So I'm going to say you guys get the 3rd seed in the Central. You guys are going to stick around. Number 2, the Western Conference champion, Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars were one of the more surprising teams last year. They made a hell of a playoff run, got to Game 6 of the Cup final against Tampa. Dallas, who, for the most part, their team didn't change much. they got more depth on the defense. They have, according to the NHL app, they have like 13 defensemen on their team, so that's a good sign. You have guys like Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Joe Pavelski. You also have Radim Faksa. So if you're Dallas, you're definitely back in the playoffs next year. In fact, I would not be surprised if they get first. So I'm just putting them at second for now because number one is, of course, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa. I have a hot take here about Tampa. They're not as good as everybody says they are. Now, to Lightning fans, don't get mad at me. Here's the reason why. Tampa, they have had this, and honestly, that might change because I just got a notification on my phone saying that Nikita Kucherov is out for next season with some surgery. So actually, I'm going to change it. I'm moving Columbus up to 5th, Florida to first, Florida to third. So Columbus moves up to 4th, Florida to third, Carolina to second, and Dallas to first. Tampa, you're going to 5th. Why? Because you just lost one of your top left wingers in Nikita Kucherov. So Lightning fans are probably crapping themselves, and they have the right to, because, oh, good lord. And their goaltending has been phenomenal. Tampa could make it, but I don't know. Probably not. Now that I'm just looking at it. Tampa, they were gonna be first, but now that Kucherov's out, no Kucherov. No Kucherov, no playoffs. Now, to the North Division, to the Canadian Division. Number 7, the Ottawa Senators. Why? I'll tell you why. They suck. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bruins fan. They suck because they don't have any good players. Let's take a look at the Ottawa Senators roster. When I see a name that actually pops out, I'll let you know. Evgeny Dadonov, Alex Galchenyuk, Brady Tkachuk, okay, Chris Tierney, alright. Nikita Zaitsev. 4. I'm editing this video. I said 5 names and I said 4. Am I an effing idiot? 4 players I just named. Out of a 25-man roster, I named 4 players that stand out. 4. Guys, spend to the damn cap. Ottawa, you're getting last. Number 6, the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets are not... They're gonna get 6 just because there are teams that are so much better than them. I'm not saying Winnipeg's a bad team at all. I think it's Ottawa, then it's everybody else. Winnipeg, you're just gonna be placed 6th because I didn't really know what to do because all these teams are really good. Winnipeg, they have a pretty good team here. Mark Scheifele, Patrick Laine, Brian Little, Blake Wheeler. I don't know, man. So they're a pretty good team. I don't know if they might make it. I have no idea. It's just a toss-up. 5th, the Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames, they picked up a nice little signing in left winger Joakim Nordstrom. If you're a Bruins fan, you might recognize that name. He was a left winger for the Bruins for a while. And they also have Matt Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk's brother from the Ottawa Senators. Kind of funny how that all works out. Their goaltending's not great. They don't have Mike Smith. You know who their starting goaltender is next season? Jacob Markstrom. That says it all right there. Number 4, the first team in the Canadian Division to make it, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto will find a way to make the playoffs. I don't know how. They will. They didn't really get better for the most part. They signed Joe Thornton, which was honestly kind of a bad idea in my personal, not so professional opinion. You have your stars. You have John Tavares, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. That should pretty much lead you to a playoff run, along with a Wayne Simmons, a nice little pickup at the trade deadline right before COVID hit, I believe, or it might have been a free agent signing. Then you got way better on defense. Zach Bogosian, a big dude who knows how to check and knows how to play down low. That is a huge play right there. Huge little pickup. You also have TJ Brody, a star in this league, a star defenseman from the Flames, who really came into his own the last couple years and really has become one of the top defensemen in this league. Toronto, their defense got way better. And their goaltending got better too. They have Frederik Andersen, who's still 31. Yes, he is 31. He is getting better by the year. You also have a deep... Their depth chart is absolutely absurd. Toronto, you'll make it. No problems there. Edmonton Oilers, number 3. The third place team is the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton Oilers, they got better. And when I mean better, I mean better. How do you get better than having McDavid and Draisaitl? I'll tell you. They have Dominic Cahoon, a nice little signing who can fit on the third or fourth line there. You also still have James Neal and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You also have, I don't know, a Kyle Turris, a veteran in this league who's been in the league forever, who can really fit in. Kyle Turris, that's a nice little signing right there. And their defense, they have Tyson frickin' Barrie. That is a huge little signing. Came from the Leafs last year. Tyson Barrie really came into his own the past couple of years in Colorado, now, and then in Toronto, now in Edmonton. Tyson Barrie, that's going to be a nice little fit there. Yeah, and their goaltending, they still have Mike Smith. They have Koskinen. They have lots of good goalies there. Edmonton, that's a scary team. In fact, they could win it all. I don't know. I put Montreal second. Montreal got way better. Josh Anderson. That's a big signing. That was a big trade with Columbus. They said they did have to give up Max Domi, though. Max Domi is now a Blue Jacket. They're still not making the. They're still going to be fourth though, in the Central. Now, Josh Anderson, a big enforcer who knows how to move the puck up and knows how to check. That's a huge part of this game. Is the check. You also have guys like a Tyler Toffoli, a star in this league. Came from Vancouver. He was only there for a couple games, and then he went off to come to Montreal. I thought he was coming to the Bruins personally. Went to Montreal, and now he's going to have a hell of a career in Montreal. Montreal could honestly win the Cup next year. I have no idea. Vancouver is going to win the North. Vancouver. They got Braden Holtby. That should say enough. One of the best goaltenders in this league. Tanner Pearson. They still have Bo Horvat, Brock Besser. They have they have lots of good players on this team. JT Miller. They also still have Quinn Hughes. They have Nate Schmidt from Vegas. That was a huge signing there. I'm kind of speeding through. Vancouver will win. Now, in the East Division, the East is going to look a little different. Number 8, New Jersey Devils. They suck. They've always sucked. They didn't get better.
Ouch. Sam, that was harsh, man. I mean, yes, the Devils do suck, but they haven't always sucked. Good lord. Man, I'm savage sometimes.
Number 7, the New York Rangers. Yes, you have the number 1 draft pick in the league in Alexis Lafreniere, but the Rangers didn't really do much on defense. I could only name one player from their defense. That's sad. Number 6, the New York Islanders. The Islanders, they have a pretty good team here. The Islanders, they have Brock Nelson, Anders Lee, Anthony Beauvillier, just name a couple players there. You also, you don't have Johnny Boychuk anymore, which is a stinger to that team, but you still have Polak and Pelech, kind of a tongue twister. But the Islanders, they don't really have the big, I don't know. Number 5, the Washington Capitals. The reason I say number 5 is the Washington Capitals is because Henrik Lundqvist, their new starting goaltender who signed with them over the offseason, is going to be out because of a heart condition which prevents him to play. Which is a blow to that team because now your starting goaltender is Ilya Samsonov. Whew, that's bad. That is not good. So, Capitals are going to miss the playoffs this year. Number 4, the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins, they only got better. They only got way better. So, oh god, my phone's being stupid. Hold on. Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm using this for reference. They have Mark Jankowski, a big enforcer guy, came from Calgary. He's a center. He knows how to play. He knows how to get the puck in deep. That's crucial. You also have a guy like Kasperi Kapanen, a right winger from Toronto who got traded in that really awful deal on the Penguins end. The Leafs won that trade. They got everything back. Kasperi Kapanen, though, he can definitely fit in on that third line. That's for sure. Also, Colton Sevier, a nice little pickup there. He can definitely fit on the fourth line. And the second line, left winger there, and Jason Zucker. That's a nice little signing from Minnesota. You re-signed him, I believe. You got him from Minnesota over the trade deadline. Last season. That's a pretty good deal. Defense, Cody Ceci, Mike Matheson, and Chris Letang. Just 3 players right there that you could probably say But the only problem is for Pittsburgh is their goaltending. Their starting goaltender, Tristan Jarry. That's a problem. All right. Number 3, the Buffalo Sabres. One reason, Taylor Hall. They got way better. Buffalo is a scary team. They'll probably somehow find a way to blow it, but they have Taylor Hall, Cody Eakin, and they also got Eric Stahl, but also on the defense side of things, they picked up Henry Jokiharju and Matt Irwin, who I believe was not there, but Jokiharju might have been. And the goalie, they got Carter Hutton. They're good. Buffalo's real good. Second, the Bruins. The Bruins, I'm going to go on a rant for a quick second. Don Sweeney, the Bruins general manager. I'm looking right at you right now. Spend to the damn cap. Now, I'm filming this as of December 23rd, so I don't know what happens after the time this video uploads. But if Mike Hoffman is still available, why haven't you signed him yet? Actually, let me check, because you never know with NHL. Mike Hoffman. That's your goal right now. Mike Hoffman needs to be a Bruin. That needs to happen. I'm sorry. If you're gonna make the playoffs, Mike Hoffman needs to happen. Honestly, if you want me to, here's your hot take. You could probably put this on any Boston newspaper. If the Bruins do not sign Mike Hoffman, the Bruins might not make the playoffs. That's my hot take. And I'm a Bruins fan, right? Focus on Chara and Hoffman. Chara has not re-signed as I'm filming this video. Chara, Hoffman. 2 main signings. You have good money left in the cap. Please re-sign Chara and please sign Hoffman. Re-sign Chara, that's a must. Finish his career in Boston, and for Mike Hoffman, that has to happen. I'm sorry. There's a hole on the right wing. You can put him left side. Mike Hoffman, you can swap somebody to the left side. Mike Hoffman, he was a star. You can't afford him. Please resign. Please sign him, Don Sweeney. As a Bruins fan, please sign him. Please. And also, you guys did a great job with Grzelcyk and DeBrusk. I'll give you that. Along with Craig Smith, the Bruins got better. Problem with Craig Smith, he's inconsistent on the offense, but he's a really nice player to have, a veteran. Great, we need more veterans. Yeah, Bruins have a very young team for the most part. They do have a couple of old ones: Chara, Bergeron, Rask, even, and now Craig Smith. So you had the veteran, you had the leadership. Now you need the depth and the actual the help. The Bergeron line with Marchand and Pastrnak, that better stay for the rest of the time. As long as Bergeron and Marchand keep playing. Pastrnak is going to be the face of the franchise. He, honestly, from the way I'm looking at it, David Pastrnak, oh, this is a hot take. He could be the next Wayne Gretzky. And that's just my personal opinion. And you could say the same thing about Connor McDavid. Those two are the most likely out of this generation to become the next Wayne Gretzky. And the winner of the East Division is the Philadelphia Flyers. They are scary, and they're going to win. Straight up, the Flyers are going to win. And that, my friends, is just my personal opinion. The Philadelphia Flyers, they're going to win. They have to. They are probably the best team in the East Division, and that's coming from a Bruins fan. So, Flyers win the East Division. The Philadelphia Flyers, they're going to make the playoffs. That's a given. Philadelphia, they have one of the best teams in this league. And if we look at their roster, not a lot changed, and that might be for the better. You have a guy like Claude Giroux, Jakub Voracek, James Van Riemsdyk, Oscar Lindblom, who just came back from cancer. God bless him. He came back from cancer. He is back on the ice. He's doing his thing. And honestly, good for him, and that might be a motivation booster for that team to try to get him a ring. You also have, on the defensive side of things, you got better. You got more deeper. You still have Sanheim and Provorov and Gostisbehere and Robert Haig, but you also have a nice little player in Eric Gustafsson, who's been in the league for how long now? 5 seasons. This will be his 6th season. Who's really come into his own over the past couple seasons. You still have Brian Elliott and Carter Hart. This team has not changed, and honestly, that might be for the better. The Philadelphia Flyers, they're going to win the East Division. That's straight up. It's either going to be the Flyers, the Bruins, or the Sabres. Penguins will probably get 4th. Any of the top 3 that I named could win it, honestly. So, I posted on my Instagram story my update for when the seasons come out, for when my videos come out. I said today would be an NHL predictions video. Saturday will be a Christmas haul. That is the next video that is coming on Saturday. And also, tomorrow is Christmas Eve for me. It's today. I'm filming a video there at my little Christmas Eve gathering with my cousins. We're playing Among Us. We're all gonna be playing Among Us on our phones. It's gonna be hilarious. They wanted to do it. I was down to do it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That video will be coming probably Monday. And also the spicy food challenge. I know you've been wanting that. We are filming that at some point over the next week, and that will be up at some point. So you can expect 4. This is one of 4 upcoming videos within the next week. This is going to be a great content week because it's Christmas break or holiday break, and I'm off. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications if you can. I know there was an issue where you couldn't turn on the post notifications, so that's why I will not be marking these videos for kids, but I'm not really going to swear in my videos. I mean, I did say hell and damn a couple times, but I'm a teenager, whatever. So you guys can turn on those post notifications now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Follow my Instagram, and I'm out. See you later.